So I wanted to do something before my first ever title review for Star Wars Rogue One, but I didn't really know what to do until I found out on Netflix that Into the Woods was on, so I haven't seen that, so here we go. Just felt like talking about it. Sounds fun. Hey guys, SuperBat257 here, and this is my blog on Into the Woods. The story is that Emma Bunton and James Corden, aka Smithy, I just call him Smithy because I like calling him Smithy, they are they're bakers who want a child, but a witch has cursed them, well, mainly cursed their father and generations to not have a child. So the witch is giving them an opportunity for them to be able to lift this curse to have a child. So what they do is they go, is that James Corden and Emma Bunton go into the woods and they try to find objects from like all different kinds of fairy tale creatures. Well, fairy tale characters. So you have Jack from Jack and the Beanstalk, you have Red Riding Hood, you have Cinderella, and the list goes on. So what do I like about this film first? I'm going to start what I like about this film first. What do I like about this film? Well, I think the main thing I really like is the performances and the music. You know, every single performance is brilliant and spot on the most. James Corden and Emma Bunton have proven themselves time and time again that they have got some talent. That James Corden and Emma Bunton have proven themselves that they are talented, they are likable, and really good actors as well. So, and they also sing really well as well. So that's also another thing. And that's also another thing to do with this movie as well, is that it's also a musical. I mean, it's coming off from a Broadway show. I haven't seen the Broadway show, so I don't really know it. But this is coming off from a Broadway show. I don't know the name of the actors, but the young actors, I mean, I'm not going to know who child actors are. It's pretty hard for me to know who child actors are because they're child actors. But the child actors who played Jack and Red Riding Hood, they were also really good as well. They were great as their characters. I don't know why Red Riding Hood has an American accent. No, I mean she wasn't bad or anything. I just thought that Red Riding Hood would have like sort of like a distinct English accent or something. I mean. Probably like that's just me. That's just what I would have done with Red Riding Hood. And Anna Kendrick as I think that's her name, Anna Kendrick as Cinderella. She was also really good. I mean, Anna Kendrick, I think, is one of the most talented people of today. You know, she's a fantastic actress and she's a really good, talented singer. She did a great job as Cinderella. The music as well, the music is really good as well. I mean, it's not really like Les Miserables, where I'm just gonna go, at the end of the day, another day over. There's a struggle, it's a war, and there's nothing that anyone was giving. I mean, it's not really like that, but it's pretty close. I mean, I'm not gonna like listen to it and rock it down when I'm walking down the streets or something, but, it is still pretty good, and it still holds up for their, characters. The other characters as well, they don't really have like as much screen time and as much presence as like the other characters. If you're simply just going into this movie just because Johnny Depp's in this movie, don't, because he's hardly really in the movie. He's only really in like 5 minutes of screen time. It's understandable. You could have like gone like anyone from Broadway to just come in and play that character of the wolf, and it would have been fine. They did have a really cool sequence of Red Riding Hood in the wolf's stomach though, and that was really cool to see. And yeah, so the music was pretty good. The actors were pretty good. So now we're going to come to the things that I don't like about the film, and there are some pretty big things I don't like about the film. Not to say the movie's bad or anything. It's not bad. It's not a bad movie. But there are a lot of things that really hurt the movie. For instance, I think the one thing that really hurts the movie is the pacing. Usually for me, pacing isn't a problem when it comes to the film. I mean, a lot of critics usually say, oh, the pacing's too fast, everything's just too fast. I don't really have a problem with that, with the pacing that much. But with this film, the pacing was very rushed. It felt like that it was just very rushed. And everything just looked, it was just looked like, let's go to the next scene. It's like the director was just getting bored of one scene and then just had to rush into a next scene. It's like, don't do that. I mean, I'll give the director credit. This is a really hard musical to bring to the big screen. It's very hard. I mean, any Broadway adaptations is pretty hard to bring to the big screen, but this is really hard to bring to the big screen. Also, but the pacing was just, it wasn't really that great. Also, the one thing that really annoyed me is that it looked like at one point in the film that it was going to end, and then it turns out that there's more, half an hour more into the film. And I was just like, no, don't, like, they had the opportunity there to end, and then they continued the story. And with this female giant coming in looking for Jack, and I was just thinking that you don't really need that. It felt really unnecessary for the story. I mean, it could have ended on like a perfect note, but no, they decided to continue the story, and it really didn't need to. I mean, the movie is like 2 hours long. The movie's 2 hours long. In my opinion, it should have been an hour and a half long. That's what I think, though. I mean, if any of you really love the Broadway show, I mean, I haven't seen the Broadway show, but if any of you've seen the Broadway show, comment below and tell me if those minutes are in the Broadway show. But I just think that for a movie, it just kind of felt really unnecessary. It was going to end, and then it just kept on going. You don't really need that. You don't really need to continue the story, because the story was pretty good. I mean, the story, I think, it's a very complicated story to bring to the big screen, and it's very complicated, but in all honesty, it really works. It really does work, and then they throw in another story for the last half an hour that, which is completely wasted. And there's also, in that half an hour, there's also a bit with Prince Charming, played by Chris Pine. I mean, Chris Pine was good as the Prince. I mean, I thought he did a good job. But there's a scene there I thought that was completely out of character for the Prince to do, and completely a dick move. And I was just like, dude, like, what the hell? Like, I just thought, it's just completely unnecessary. I mean, if there was like a fan edit of the film, then I would suggest just cut out that last half an hour of the film. Just cut it out, go straight to the credits, and then that's the film. You could have just ended like that. Well, in the end, Into the Woods it's enjoyable. It is really enjoyable. The performances are great. The music's fantastic. Even the young kids are also really good in the film as well. But the pacing, really big issue. In the last half an hour, I just felt, a bit iffy. So yeah. What do you guys think of not Cabin in the Woods there. So what do you guys think of Into the Woods? Did you like the movie? Did you not like the movie? Comment below, please. Subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.